Broadcasting live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Handicappers Report. And no, this is not Groundhog Day. You can tell by my clothes, but it is another scintillatingly perfect morning alongside Seth Merrow and Anthony Mormino. And, you know, if this was your week to come to the track, you're already ahead.
Yeah, no,
this has been about 4 racing days in a row where it's been, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Well, Sunday got hit with the rain.
Midday, after us. It's like always from time to time, I like to say, let's run the races now. I mean, because it might get warmer, like considerably warmer this afternoon, but right now it is a beautiful day. You know, I always, I can no longer do breakfast, stay at the track all day and go out. Those days are gone. My birth certificate indicates that. So, but breakfast in the morning, a day like today, you take in 4 or 5 races, you go home, etc. It's just one of the great days.
You could make breakfast.
No. Oh, I could make breakfast.
I say you can make breakfast in the whole day. You could do
the whole day, but no night. You know, night was my youth. The night was more attractive than breakfast. You know, if I couldn't do the night, breakfast wasn't going to edit out the night. Right. You know, and people, you know, I know I say this all the time, but you should understand that. It was 24 days through me being 27 years of age. So the peak of my youth was 20. So you wouldn't pass up a night.
Yeah. No,
you know,
little racetrack in the afternoon.
Oh,
Raptors
baby.
On a Wednesday night for the special.
Oh, my
goodness.
goodness.
And then Spacity Diner afterwards. And then I'd be lifeguarding at the pool the next morning.
There you go. And I'll tell you one thing. And I know for sure 2 of those 4 things are gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what pool you were at, but
the pool I think is gone too.
The pool's gone. Now is that at the Antlers?
Still,
the pool is gone. I played it like.
Okay. I think the pool's still there. I just
it is. They don't open it. I played it about 7, 8 years ago because I was thinking about you because we worked together. I don't know how long we were working together, but probably close to 15, 17 years. So I knew Seth was answering. He used to be a lifeguard. So I'm playing the Antlers, which for a short period of time they changed the name, but I think they're back to the Antlers now.
Right. Good.
And I go by the pool, and I mean it's the middle of the summer. It's a perfect day. I'm like, I think Seth's job is gone. Yeah. So that's 3 of the 4 things the old men just mentioned don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and in fact, there's housing up in there now next to some of the holes. When I was there, that wasn't there.
Wow, I don't remember. Wow, is that new or is that? I don't remember that.
Well, I mean, we're talking about when I was lifeguard.
Okay.
Those houses have been there, or condos or whatever. Have been there for years.
The Spa City Diner, I never got that closing. Now, diners are like, but you and I maybe are atypical. We love diners, so we're like, doesn't everybody go? But yes, 3 of those 4 don't exist anymore. But this does. This is still beautiful. And I know it really sounds like, but boy, I'll tell you, those 9 race cards, Seth, with 8 flat racing out the door by, pre 6 o'clock, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And I think, depending on how you keep score, is gone and forgotten the first 2-time winner of the meet.
Yeah, I don't know how you would score that.
Well, I think all of the other people are July 10th. Yeah. They're not giving any leeway to the Independence Day Festival or the Belmont Stakes Festival. It's July 10th. So I think, gone and forgotten is the first 2-time winner of the meet.
Despo's Dream, nice winner on top at $15 for me. So it was a nice day yesterday, selections wise, and it was a nice day as far as racing. Well, not racing across America because it was Sunday. Loose on the lead. We had Carrie Bryan on. She had 3 in. the jump race, and she mentioned Historic Art. She talked about how the horse actually had a race that didn't make the PPs, though. There was some kind of technicality involved, and she said horses had a race, but there was a technicality, paperwork and whatnot, and so it didn't get recorded. They had to have another kind of work for a to get official and whatnot.
Was there a public announcement besides Miss Bryan to that effect?
That's a good question. I don't think so. Because that's why I think she mentioned it. Oh, is there our friend Tim Wilkin, I believe, coming out of Clare Court? Is it Tim?
I have my nearsighted glasses.
Yeah,
on.
no, I believe
it looks like him.
I believe it is. But Historic Art got it done in the jump race yesterday. So again, another leaving the set and getting a winner for a guest on the set. That's always fun. So nice day yesterday. Currently 37.3 favorites are winning at the meet. Yesterday there was 3 meet to date, 38 favorites, so just a little over 37% favorites. On the jockey side, Irad has the lead, a couple of wins over his brother Jose, 18-16, and then it kicks back down to Flavian Prat at 9, and Luis Saez and Joel Rosario both sitting at 8. On the trainer's side, tied between Linda Rice and Todd Pletcher, sitting in second with the tie Chad Brown and Joe Sharp.
Yesterday the mutuals, the fans just getting it right, and all class who paid $23.60, but was 4-1 as part of an entry. The entry mate was a scratch, and I think it's very reasonable to say that was the much stronger half. And the point I'm trying to make is I think all class would have been 8 or 10-1 by themselves, which the $23. My point I'm making is David just knocking it out of the park. I mean, not only the 3 favorites yesterday, 3 second choices, and then the 2 fourth choices. That's the whole card. I mean, the $23.60 is the long shot, but also that's pumped up by the fact that the other entry ran and was 7-10. And I always say this, it's like, and you almost always see it in the Breeders' Cup. Like if you looked at a horse's odds and they're always like favored or 3-1, and if you covered up the race they were in, and then you see 13-1, you're like, oh, that's the Breeders' Cup. So the $23 is, I think, not partially, but the majority of the reason of that heightened price is the 7-10. It's just the nature of pari-mutuel wagering. You have 7-10, nearly everybody else. I mean, I keep a lot of stats, and when you see odds-on horses, many, many times the second choice pays like $13 or $15. It's just how the math works out. But you're thinking, well, I might pay $13, but the horse is really like 3-1. He's the second choice. And as you've alluded to before, boy, do they love favorites in New York.
Yeah. The one that I kicked my king puck, I took a little pop against, but
you're supposed to.
Yeah, but at 450, I think on that one was probably fair.
I mean, yes, but there's very few horses in America that run on a deck that I think getting 450 based on the level of competition is justified.
You're right. They do seem to crush favorites now, and that was one that I would have expected would have gone down to $3 and change. So the 450, as they say.
Good point. Yeah, because he was 8-5.
Yeah.
On the morning line and pays off, but it was field size helps a little bit, and you had that one little bit of doubt in your mind. If he showed, it's the old idea that New York State bred, made in special weights. Are they able to reproduce? I mean, one of the things that you had Tom Mello on, who played like the second greatest round of his life. It's like one of the things, they say, like, I'm not good at golf because I'm not consistent. No, it's the other way. You're not consistent, thus you're not good. What I'm getting at in horse racing is, if you were a consistent sort, you'd be going up the rank and you'd be a reliable entity. But by the way, that's what I count on. I count on their unreliability to reproduce what we've already seen.
Yeah. And, that was one, like I say, in the last race I took the shot against, and that was one that I kind of kicked myself. But there were some others on the day that beat me that I was okay with. But sometimes you zig, you should zag, and other times you zig when you should have zigged. So
sometimes you're the fly, sometimes you're the windshield. That's my favorite one.
Exactly. Sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Got a million of them. Coming up today, Clubhouse Racebook. It is the Play the Board contest. You can have a little extra fun down at the Racebook today at the Racebook with the Play the Board, 711 Central Avenue in Albany, same spot that tomorrow. It's the Players Bankroll. So enjoy that on Friday. Saturday at the Clubhouse Racebook, King of the Hill contest. See if you can get crowned and win a little extra something. Saturday at the Racebook. Saturday, it's also the Bounty Bet returns, late pick 5 here at Saratoga. All you have to do is play with your Capital OTB bet account. You have a shot at the Bounty on Saturday. Saturday, it's also a Fan Appreciation Day at the Rivers Branch. Always a lot of fun, the Fan Appreciation Days, contests, PPs, vouchers. So keep that in mind. Rivers Casino on Saturday, Fan Appreciation Day. Sunday, Clubhouse Racebook. It's the Knockout Challenge. So that's coming up on Sunday. And Sunday, I will have, again, it's every other week, the Pick 3 Bankroll coming up. So keep in mind, entries will open today. I'll open up the entries after we get off the air. So 11 or noon, somewhere in that vicinity, we'll open the entries today. Go to capitalotv.com, click on the promotions link, look for that graphic, and you'll find an entry form. Sign up. We will select the team of 10, and I'll play on behalf of them on Sunday, so it should be fun.
Now, you typically buy multiple tickets. You don't do a caveman 150, right? Typically.
No, typically. Yeah, you're right. Now, I may do...
I mean, you bet like 3 or 4 different pick 3s in the day.
Usually, kind of 3 is how it usually works.
Number.
I think. But again, it all depends. If it made sense, I might do a caveman. But normally it's more fun and makes a little more sense to play around a little bit and do 3 of them typically. But I have done in the past. It's $1 increment. I've kicked it up to a couple of bucks if I have one of the sequences I can kind of keep slim. So. But again, we'll try to do a little better than last time. Last year, pretty much all of them worked out well, and so we'll try to get it back in gear again on Sunday. And I also wanted to mention for folks today, there's a Pick 5 carryover at Delaware. It's at $6,700. It's not huge, but again, the Pick 5 tends to attract some attention. So Pick 5 carryover today at Delaware, which starts in race 3.
All right, I'm trying to think what I was going to say. Oh, by the way, in there, when I asked Seth the question about the pick 3, was perhaps the most important rule of betting horses, which is don't be rigid.
Oh yeah.
You have to be malleable to the idea of changing up, moving, and grooving.
Particularly, you and I have done it for years because we're public handicappers. You handicap 2 days in advance or 3 days in advance, but you have to, we're kind of stuck with these because we print them. But if you're, and I do the same thing on the front side, obviously, but if you're handicapping a day or 2 ahead and you go over and the conditions change or whatnot, you have to be well.
And I tell people all the time, and I think if you watch it regularly, you would entrust me with this, is when I have 2 horses and they're first or second, and one gets battered at the window, the other one goes up. You have to know which one I more prefer. It's not the one getting battered at all. I throw those back into it, but I basically call this, that's my the Ironicus route, where I love the horse for the Breeders' Cup Mile. I call you from the Taco Bell parking lot in the morning to do your show, and that day, the races come up and inside is great. And I like Taurus, and he beats Tepin because he got the perfect trip on the inside. And you just don't be rigid. My rule when I did the wagering selections for WNYT for 7 years, my rule was I bet everything I put on the thing. I can make other bets and change, but I was required in my heart to bet everything I told the people, because I did like $50 a day because I thought that was a reasonable amount for an adult, and I usually bumped it up to $100 on Travers Day. But I felt obligated to bet all of those. Now, I would bet others, which I thought I had the right to do, but I never would be like, no, I didn't have that. That's it. I told you to bet it. I have to bet this. Didn't say you couldn't bet other stuff, but that was it. And that's just, part of it. I guess we're going to get to the racing today, right?
So far, so good, yeah.
All right. The opener, I should look this up. What do you say, about 4, 5, 6 years, this restricted maiden special weight thing?
I would have said like 3, but I'll trust you.
The reason I bring it up is how long has Brian been down at Gulfstream now full time?
That's a good question.
This is this our 4th summer doing almost each day together?
That might be.
And I think it preceded that.
Okay.
But that's what we have in the opener. If you're a newbie out there, maiden special weight races, but they added this restriction that I think I don't know that I've heard of, a knock against this, but sold for $60,000 or less in their most recent sale. I do think the most recent sale was an addition, right? Because I think when they first got tripped up, they were sold for $60,000 at some point in their life, but their recent purchase might have been $200K.
Yeah, like a
so I
hooking
think
kind of a thing.
Yes.
I'm 4, 1, 3, and 6, and this is my Dark Horse play of the
right
day.
off the bat.
Brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile and Impressions of Saratoga in downtown Saratoga, both right on Broadway, a couple of blocks away and across the street from each other. But again, highly worth the visit. If you're at the track, you go down for dinner. They're usually open a little bit later. And again, recommended you stop by Impressions and Dark Horse. But the Dark Horse play of the day, number 4, Mia Sophia, 15-1 on the morning line. Golden Sense, I've liked for the past few years, is a sire of win early types. This year, 38 first-time starters, 4 winners, 4 seconds, 4 thirds. So still very good numbers. There are good numbers. 8 exacta finishes and 38 first-time starters. But the Dam has produced some nice runners. Honest Banker won the first 2 starts of the career. Always Charming won start number 2. So I thought there was win early, top and bottom. Trainer, not necessarily known for getting firsters ready. There's not much of a sample there. So that concerns, I typically with these kind, I like it when you can really go across the board. Sire, Dam, Trainer gets them ready. You have a hot jockey. And Joel Rosario's riding well. Trainer is showing, when I printed up the form, and I think it's still true, no starts yet. And I will admit, the workouts are not jumping off the page, except the mid-June workout, 47 and change, second best of 144 out of the gate. And I thought, that's your theory. Again,
yes.
You go back a little bit and showed a little something, and now just kind of leading into the race. I'm hoping that workout kind of signifies that there's a little something here that lives up to the breeding I see. So at a price, I'm going to make my Dark Horse play of the day today on Thursday. Race number 1, horse number 4, Mia Sophia, going on Sparkling Mama underneath. This one's interesting to me because if you watch enough, I might have made this one my Dark Horse play of the day, being by Vekoma. I love Vekoma as a sire of first out runners. And so far this year, he's had 46 of them, 10 wins, 6 seconds, 6 thirds. Again, really good numbers first out. Horse worked 10.2 before the Ocala sale in April. There's a couple of nice workouts. The 1-2 back on July 6th was pretty good. But why'd the horse sell for $5,000? I couldn't leave it out. It has everything I like, but I kind of scratching my chin on the $5K purchase price, which shied me away just a little. Now I'm going to be intrigued to see how she runs, however. Coolaboola in the 3rd spot, sibling called Know It All Audrey, took 5 starts to win, but overall 28 starts, 7 wins, 5 seconds, 3 thirds. It was a talented runner, and so I think Coolaboola could be a player for George Weaver, who's having a nice start to the meet. 4, 1, 3, and 6.
A couple quick things. Yesterday, in fact, the rails were not up on the inner after the jump. They kept it down, and that 11 furlong race did exactly the opposite of what I mentioned, which is what we think is they spread out, they ran in tandem, so nobody got caught out wide. And I looked it up because I was thinking Golden Sense must have been like the first crop from Into Mischief, and he was. But what's more spectacular to me, Into Mischief is 20 now. That's usually past your heyday of being a stallion. and commanding that type of price. I mean, he's a real change-up, but yeah, into mischief, 20 years old, spendthrift. 136 for me. It was for me more of a guessing game. You have all these firsters, three that have started, but I took the Vacoma. Flavian Pratt, who won the first 3 races of the meet, then a little, had 2 yesterday. I'm down inside. Dominic Schettino. Does any horse work out handily anymore? Or is that just gone?
That's a good question.
Is everybody just breezing? Kula Bula, my second pick. George Weaver's having a great meet. Lexitonian, I think. What do you win? The Vanderbilt at $70?
Yeah.
So that's pretty big. And then Birch Run, who scares me because of 3 reasons. Third career start. I must admit, I don't know how many have come back from the Iron Orchard race. And if you just want a heads up, he was odds on. He won by a pole, looked like a beast. And then
that was the New York bred that snuck in the restricted.
Yep.
Yeah.
And won by a pole. 136.
Yeah, you mentioned handily and breezing. The one thing that I always got me about that was they meant exactly the opposite thing on the West Coast and the East Coast. How did that happen?
I know. But it's funny. I would like, well, you have Mike on from time to time. I don't think H is ever put up.
Now that you mentioned, I think you're onto something there.
I mean, even some of these bullets that are like eye-opening bullets, it doesn't say handily.
Second race this afternoon, we're looking at maiden specials. They will vie for $100,000 and travel 1 mile and 3/16 on the grass.
And I've said many times, I love these races. I love races that start at the top of whatever your stretch is, so they run down exactly. And that rare 9 furlong inner that we had the other day, it played out they had so much time to get a position that they wanted. I'm 354. I think I would nobody has carried the water, and not that he needed the water carried, but there's very few things I've been ahead of the curve with, Seth, but Dubai was one of them. And he is just one of the great stallions in the world. He carries on. Dubai Millennium, I think, only had 1 crop. He was eating grass, I think, and he died. It was, his stallion career was very brief, but he gave us Dubai. And Royal's Pride, number 3, is on top for both Seth and me, making the 4th career start. Just got beat at nearly 10-1. He won't be that price today. For second, Spun. Bobby Robato, one of my favorite under-the-radar trainers. This horse has been consistently good and twirling candy. Won the finale, sired the winner of King Puck in the finale yesterday. And then a bourbon for Toby. Tom Morley sends out this runner off of a 3rd place finish recently, 3-5-4.
3, 7, 4, and 6. Yeah, you mentioned Dubai. Look at the price, $445,000 to breed to that.
He literally will carry on the Dubai Millennium lineage all by himself. Yeah, and that takes a lot of lifting.
3 starts so far, 1 in March, then a little bit of a break and a couple of starts since then. But on the numbers, improved. Could be primed for another nice effort this afternoon. And if we do get that, runs back to the last one, I would think is going to be good enough. But if we move forward again, Vintage Vino in the 2nd spot by Vino Rosso. He's a decent sire of win early types. And so this one hasn't quite lived up to that yet, but has run well for Linda Rice. And Linda Rice certainly, once again, as is typical, really wherever they're racing in New York, she's having a good meet. Jose Ortiz on board. And in the 2nd start of the season, off a good start up here on July 4th, I think this one will be primed. And then, yes, Suburban for Toby in the mix for me as well. Another one, kind of a combination of what I mentioned in the top 2, improving numbers, and comes in off of efforts that you think the horse could jump forward from. So in the 2nd, I have a 3, 7, 4, and 6.
It just dawned on me. I'm getting old, folks, right in front of your eyes. That anybody under 40 probably doesn't know who Dubai Millennium is.
Oh, no, well, you may be right.
You got to Google him. I know it was his 2nd name. They changed his name because because they saw that he was going to be really good.
Yeah, okay.
And so they changed his name to Dubai Millennium 2000. And look him up. And I think Jerry Bailey might have gotten to ride him in his final career start. Frankie Dettori, just look him up. And I'm sitting here going, that's unbelievable. 40-year-olds might not know who Dubai Millennium is. Yeah. And that's why I said carrying on. They got a better chance to know who Dubawi is than Dubai Millennium. All right, on to the third. Our second restricted, the 2-year-olds going 6. I have to make is this the rare thing, Seth? No, it was Philly's first time, Colts this time. I was thinking maybe it was like the old days, split divisions, but it's not.
3, 7, 5, and 4. Mr. J on top for me. Ron McKett, runner. Mendelson's okay with first-time starters so far this year. 32 of them, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 3/3. So again, on the win end, a little light, but they're coming in the money. 8 out of 32, so they run okay. Comes up from Ellis. Had some good workouts down there, but I like the fact that again, it was another one of those where, hey, we're down at Ellis. They have plenty of 2-year-old races down there. I looked in the condition book and saw $80,000 for this restricted race in New York, and they decided to ship up. And as I say, a couple of those Kentucky workouts are okay. Ron McKett can have them ready first time out. So I'll tilt tepidly in that direction. Hoosick Falls going out for Jennifer Paragallo off of just a series of really nice works. Authentic can get first-time starters, 45 of them this year. 5 wins, 5 seconds, 3/3. But, boy, those workouts are really attractive. So always fun to root for Jen. And we'll put Hoosick Falls in the mix and Bob Rofsky in the third spot, Dale Roman's trainee. And this is one where, if you're tilting more in these races towards horses with experience, this is the direction you will go, and many people will go, A, off the near miss in the debut, and B, off the very good workouts. Now, most of those were before the first effort, but it's had a really nice bullet work right up here since that debut down at Churchill. So Bob Rofsky, probably the one to beat. 3, 7, 5, and 4.
How much would it surprise you to know that you have to take the champ Into Mischief out, that Mendelssohn is the second leading sire of the meet of winners?
Oh, that's wild. Yeah.
4. I think Into Mischief has 5. So, sometimes I had to refresh this because sometimes, I have Del Mar in the hopper, so I get a little confused who I'm typing in. But I knew Mendelssohn has been. It was like we had Declaration of War have the winner yesterday. Declaration of War had a very hot start. And it wasn't just long distance turf, and he's gotten quieter. Then he popped up yesterday. But Mendelssohn, 4 winners.
He's got 2. One I didn't mention. I have on a sunny day.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
I have the other one.
Very good.
We have it covered. I'm 2, 4, 7. I just want to point out the 5 here. So Seth, here you have the last 2 words: 46 and 3 for a 2-year-old. 46 before that, both listed as breezing.
Yeah.
3 and 4-year-olds that would have been listed as handily. You have a juvenile working very well, and he gets a breeze.
Yeah.
So what? Handily, he's going to go 44? Like, I don't get it. But it's consistent, so I guess you don't have to worry about it. But the hard thing is, so when they go like 49, he's going to get breezing also. How can he go 46 breezing and 49 breezing? That's just it. I'm 2, 4, 7 as we move along. John Kimmel, and this is going back, almost 40 years, Seth, was, he's a vet out of Cornell, I believe, and he was good with 2-year-olds, and I'm taking waiting on a sunny day. Well, we ain't waiting. This has been beautiful up here. 7 listed works, all just about the same. 48 breezing. That's my top pick. Imagine John. Jenna Antonucci sends out this runner for the 3rd career start, has finished 3rd in both of them at big prices. And then Hoosick Falls. Jennifer Paragallo sends out this offspring of Authentic. And I start to get Golden Sense seems to have hit his stallion apex, but that Authentic might be a son of Into Mischief that maybe takes us the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm 2, 4, 7.
All right, we'll head to our first break as we continue taking a look at this Thursday card on a gorgeous Saratoga morning. So stay tuned.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
Is it us? Is it them? It's like the old days at the toll booth for the thruway. I'm expecting to get the ticket, and she goes,
"You're in charge, not us. You make the decision.
Right.
We'll follow you."
One time, when we still had tickets for the thruway, I was absent-minded. I get to the toll booth, reaching out to grab the ticket. She goes, "No, your turn. Otherwise, you give me the ticket and the money now." And now there's really 40-year-olds out there going, "Ticket, toll booth. What is this guy talking about?"
I think of that every once in a while.
By the way, maybe one of the greatest developments ever is Easy Pass.
Except I was envisioning free freeways around the country would go, oh, all we have to do is put up that little thing and we get money. So I was thinking everybody's going to be a toll road at some point, but it hasn't gone that way. But we'll see.
I don't think it's gone that way at all. I don't think there might also be restrictions.
Could be, yeah.
You know.
Fourth race today, maiden claimers, mile and a 16th on the grass.
You know, by and large, I love these type of races. This is, Seth, for me, the living, breathing embodiment of the Mount Everest right now. Miguel Clement, under very difficult personal circumstances, is professionally having a great start. You know, he won the finale yesterday. He's having a fantastic meet, and he has the 3. I can't believe my partner put him even lower than me. Good for you, Seth. This is, 3 to 5 on the morning line, and David makes a great price. And I've never talked to David about it. We've only met once when he was coming on your show. For a morning line odds person, I know he made Sovereignty 2 to 5 in the Jim Dandy. He's made New Attitude 3 to 5 here. I think if you collectively ask a bunch of them, it takes a lot for them to put it that low.
Yeah.
Because they just know how it's going to work. I'll tell you, based on my idea of the muscle regression and everything like that, I'm happy to go against him. Seth doesn't even want him in the exacta. Day away at a big price in here is going to get lost in the wagering. Went to the sideline after the Spa race last year. I'm just going to make the projection that something went wrong. I love the first comeback race. Then I got the off-the-turf regression. And Jonathan Kitchen was saying this the other day on Talking Horses, and we've mentioned it. They have a big audience also, and I'll mention it again. Sometimes you stay in the race to keep your place in line for the race when it comes back. Day away, going to be a big price. I think even bigger than 12 to 1. Then I have New Attitude. You know, if your thought is he can regress and still win, you can have him at 3 to 5. And then I am Lotus Pedal, but 6, 3, 7. And I think is a very interesting race, how it's bet. It might be more interesting how it's bet than how it's run.
I have it 5, 4, 3, and 7. I put Classic Cara on top. Just coming in off a couple of tries in similar company and a couple of improving efforts, including the last one, which was a lifetime best buyer. So this horse just may be rounding into some really nice form right now. So Classic Cara on top, McKinsey's Glory in the second spot. Bullet Workout coming into this wasn't blazing, but it was a bullet work. And
breezing, I'm sure.
That's breezing. Last seen November down at the fairgrounds. So this is the kind I talk about. Lightly raced 2-year-olds, lightly raced 3-year-olds, they get a break and they come back. They can come back improved. If this one does with the class move, I think is very, very dangerous. And New Attitude, for me, the big question mark was the debut was decent. Why did they drop in the second start back? Dropped to the 50 tag. I
got to think,
question
you're in the crosshairs
that.
of getting claimed.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And so that was just a huge and yeah, might outclass the bunch on the class move. But second start off a, again, what looked like an okay debut to give another shot at. And they come back for the tag. I wasn't willing to put it on top. 5, 4, 3, and 7.
And you know what? And there are probably newbies out there watching. He wins by 3, and they're like, what were those two guys talking about? It was right there on the paper for you. He's much the best. Yeah, there's going to be an 11-way shake for the claim. On to the 5th, State Breds dashing 5.5 on the turf, in for 45 or 2x.
1, 6, 3, and 4. I'll put Set on top. Now, this one I think is legit as the favorite for Mark Cassie, coming off a near win in the seasonal debut. Has shown flashes throughout the career. Started the career with some real promise, and then just wasn't quite living up to it. But it seems like, again, one of those that takes the break and comes back, maybe even improves. Certainly last time did fire the lifetime best buyer. Off of that, I'll put Set on top as a legit fave. Vacation Dance in the second spot. Brad Cox trainee with IROD on board. Also, second start of the season off a debut that was pretty good. In fact, right behind Set that day. So one's logical, the other's probably logical. And then right behind both of those, well, not right behind, a little bit behind both of those was Yarrow. So I have 3 of them coming out of that race. It's one of those where you have to believe a race. And sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And if you don't, you can go against the horses in there. And if you do, they were all in the mix. And so I'm going to put them all in the mix today in relatively the same order. 1, 6, 4, and 3.
As I look at it, excluding the price, which is a very big thing for me to excuse, Set poses a far greater threat to my top pick than the previous race.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a higher price. But that's just how I look at it. Set, the one thing I have with putting Set in second is he had a big comeback race. Now, I'm not a huge buyer guy, except I always like to say the buyer par, who can run this number and win. And Set to me is tough in here. I mean, last year, if you remember, Star of Mystery, the filly, skipped the filly race to run against the Colt in the quick calls. She was really good at the time. To me, also, Vacation Dance has to go up in price. To me, I need a greater separation between Set and Vacation Dance. And then I have Yarrow in for third. But to me, Set is, in racing parlance, a much bigger Mount Everest than the wagering parlance in the previous.
Race 6 of this afternoon. We're looking at State Bred allowance runners, and they will travel 3/4 of a mile.
1, 2, 5 for me. Joel Rosario has the mount on Geopolitics for Bill Mott. Second start of the year. Love the comeback race here during the Belmont meet. Has had plenty of time to recover for second. First off the claim, Irish Jackson just got beat at 8-5 downstate. And for third, Tower 22 off of a big 2-turn mile race at Monmouth. So 1, 2, 5.
I looked at Geopolitics with the speed from the rail. I have that one now down in the 4th spot, but I debated and working, and this one may pop out and take them all the way around. But I went 3, 4, 2, and 1, and I almost made collect the data my dark horse play of the day. This is a Chad Brown runner from Klarovich. that has that angle that, again, showed a little punch, showed a little something, and now has had a long layoff. It comes back, may come back improved. I thought the last time this horse was seen, which was a long time ago, I thought that was a very good effort. But it was in January of last year, so it's a long time on the sidelines. But now comes back, and as I say, I could see with these connections being an improved performer in here. So collect the data on top. Nina K in the second spot, comes back off a layoff from February, but cuts back from a mile. I think, the cutback on the comeback, so to speak, is going to move this horse into a good position. And Irish Jackson, this one's a little questionable off the claim. I talk about it quite often. I like allowance runners, non-1, non-2, whatever, moving out of that condition and into claiming. The other way is awfully tough, and this one's making that move. But off the claim for Rob Falcone, maybe off what we've seen in the last few races, I think the number's going to match up with this group. But again, it's a class move I'm curious with. So in the sixth, 3, 4, 2, and 1.
Take a quick break. When we come back, the late pick 4.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Handicappers Report, coming to you live on the backstretch of Saratoga Race Course.
I will reiterate again, perfect day.
It's beautiful. I mean, this is, like I said, even if you have things to do late in the day or first, just come up for like 2-3 hours. It's going to be rewarding. On to the seventh race, Maiden Claimers going 6.
2, 5, 8, and 9 for me. Senior Poncho on top. Irad Ortiz jumps on board for Chad Summers. Chad, at least me here. And he starts some horses for Al Gold. This is an Al Gold horse coming off a bullet workout after a decent try back at Belmont at Aqueduct at the end of June. At this level, I think has found the comfort zone, so to speak. The bullet workout attracts attention, as does Irad jumping on board. All kind of makes sense. Senior Poncho on top. Second spot, Are You Kano? If I came close to that. Jose D'Angelo runner making the second start of the career. And the trainer's pretty good with second starts. This one debuted for 50 down at Churchill. Comes back up here for 35. So gets a little step of class relief that should be beneficial off of the second start where the horse had a little trouble. I would expect a definitely a better effort here. And Gray Ace in the third spot. Seasonal debut in June off a layoff since December. Debuted at this level. Another one who seems to perhaps have found the comfort zone, having run third there. Just behind Senior Poncho. Senior Poncho second that race. Gray Ace ran third. So again, another one where you kind of like one, you have to throw the other in the seventh. 2, 5, 8, and 9.
clearly we see it very similar. I took the Churchill Downs shipper. They went for Luis Saez, who took the mount. I figure they're going to be aggressive out of the gate. They run for a little bit cheaper. I would sign up for 9-2 right now. I think we're going to be fortuitous to get that, because I think people see the trouble line, see everything that I just mentioned, the Austrian McKinsey. He's a major player in a maiden 35. Gray Ace to me. I'll almost put this horse on top, but my thought, Seth, was the slight regression in here that we saw on the debut, then the slight regression. We see the seasonal debut, and then I'm just fearful, although I like being on the outside attacking, and then I have your top pick from the rail, number 2, Senior Poncho, but 5-8-2.
Race number 8 on this Thursday afternoon. Optional claimers, non-winners of 2 other than. They're on the grass at 8.5 furlongs.
Boy, this is, you talk about taking a morning line price. I'd take 8-5 on tax implications now, because I'm seeing odds on when the wagering is done here. Yes, no, maybe.
I think it's fairly competitive, but given the connections, yeah.
5-1-7 for me, tax implications. Running in upper echelon stakes racing on the turf, now comes into 2X. Get the confidence builder. Only 2 starts this year. One of them was in March. One was May 3rd, Derby weekend. And then for second, Malibu going out. The other Chad Brown horse making the seasonal debut, last seen at Kentucky Downs. And then for third, Proctor Street. Boy, this is a classic example for me that I'm going to see a little regression off of that seasonal debut on the first day of summer. So 5-1-7.
5-7-1-2. I put tax implications on top, but as I say, there are a couple others in here that I think can contend on. They're consistent efforts, but I do give a little bit of an edge on the connections. Chad and Klarovich, Flavian Prat, and so steps out of stakes company. That's notable as well. I will say there are a couple in here for the tag. The 4 and the 6 are in for the tag. Everybody else for the condition, including tax implications. And Proctor Street for Brendan Walsh. I thought, we'll see. You might be right. There'll be regression. But I thought the workout since that first start kind of said the horse still on her toes. So I'll put Proctor Street in the second spot, and then Malibu for me in the third spot. Again, becomes the other Chad. And it's just interesting on that factor, which last summer played out nicely. Never overlooked the other Chad. So in the 8th at Saratoga, 5-7-1-2.
We'll take our final break. When we come back, the last Daily Double.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.
For more than 4 generations, Bruce Cerrone and his family have continued the 103-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed in the last 103 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest in Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Race number 9. Saturday, we have the Jim Dandy. Thursday, we have the Curlin, the restricted stakes race prep for the Travers.
I have a 3, 4, 1, and 7. I put strategic focus. It seems logical to me. I mean, came under the finish line first in 2 starts, was disqualified.
That was the horrible takedown?
Start last. Yeah,
that's the one,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So again, what we've seen so far for the Chad Brown Klarvich runner has been encouraging, including the triple-digit buyer. I think it's going to take a lot of action, justifiably so. I landed there. Second spot, Hypnus. The debut for this horse at the fairgrounds had me revved up. I thought Kenny McPeak had a real runner here, and then just wasn't kind of living up to it, and seems to have rounded back to form in the last two. So I think he is going to be dangerous today. Chancer McPatrick, again, last year he was phenomenal up here. I got a chance to meet his owner, Sean Flanagan, and look at last year after the hopeful, and looking forward to the season up here this year. And started okay in the Tampa Derby. The last couple, not as much. We'll see if he can get back on track up here. But it just seems like he was talented enough last year. I don't think he could have gone in that much of the wrong direction. I will say Crudo is in the mix, and I think that one is dangerous as well. Won the Sir Barton two-back. We have one of his co-owners is going to join us. Top of the hour, Jimmy Ventura. He's one of the owners with Bobby Flay. So he'll join us on Racing Across America, as will Dave Grenig. And also Wesley Cupp from our Rome Easy Bet. It's a new Easy Bet out there. And you might be interested. He has a kind of a skill that you might be interested in. I'll hint it that way. So, but I have it in the curl in 3, 4, 1, and 7.
Crudo, intrigues me. If he does get loose, I was wondering what So Sandy and Jose's Ortiz, intentions will be. And I should say about the strategic focus takedown, it benefited me, and I don't think it should have happened. That's just my take. And I think the vast majority of people think the result should have been the one under the wire. And I'm a person who benefited by it, and I think it should have been. I see it, strikingly similar. I will say this, though, Seth. This is one of those years I'm not so sure. I'd be very eager to win this race because the Travers is going to come up very steep. And unfortunately, it looks like I guessed right that there will not be a rematch. That journalism is not coming back to the East Coast. And I'm suspicious if we don't see him in the Breeders' Cup next, but he'll probably have one more start. Yeah. It's just not going to be in the Travers by all indications. So I'm 4-3-1 here. I think it's a very unbalanced race unless strategic focus is onto something very big. All the rest, buyer speed figures and such, they're very much similar. But you run a 91 on debut and you run a 102 going 2 turns. That's pretty heady stuff. Yeah. 4-3-1.
Race number 10.
I have to ask you a question since we're good on time, which is rare when I'm on a set. But so you have an Eclipse Award ballot.
I do.
Right? I do not. If they don't meet in the Travers and journalism beats Olders and then beats them in the Breeders' Cup Classic,
it would be a real it would have to the entire result of the Classic might play into it, but it would be a real choice for me. Having won the Derby and the Belmont, wins the Travers, but journalism has a good.
You win the Preakness, the Pacific Classic, and the Classic.
In 2 races, yeah. So I would have to think about it.
That reminds me of '87 when Ali Sheba won 2/3 of the Triple Crown, and many people felt if Java Gold could win the Jockey Club Gold Cup off of the Whitney, the Travers, and the Marlboro, he would usurp the dual Classic winner who also won the Super Derby. So very interesting.
When the Super Derby was super.
Yes, it was.
Or more super. So 10th today is conditional claimers going 1 1/8 miles on the grass.
Is it a listed stakes race now?
Yeah,
it's tough.
It's not the
for those who don't know, for about 10 years there, it was shoulder to shoulder with our big race. 937 Hamilton's Way gets my top pick. The 12 furlongs most recently at a tougher level. We shorten up. We drop down a level. I think Ray Handel and Irad are major players in here. Hamilton's Way for second. Number 3, Mitch Friedman's runner makes the 3rd start, not technically of the year because we ran on January 3rd, but very competitive at this level downstate. going the mile, and then Right to Win. Chad Brown's other runner had a long layoff. Second time in the career for a tag. First time versus winners.
7-9-12 and the 3 entry for me. I'll put Right to Win on top. Chad Klarovich runner. They seem well met when they drop the horses. You know, this outfit, hey, not living up to the program perhaps. Let's get a stall open for some of our other runners. And they dropped down for a tag to break the maiden last time, and now they drop even further price-wise into this N2L level. I think they'll be live here, and I would guess horse is going to go home with somebody else, I would guess. Hamilton's Way in the second spot. Last couple of starts, numbers were okay. Finishing positions maybe not as much, but they were both 1.5 miles on the grass. Might appreciate this a little more. I'm never super thrilled with cutbacks like this. When horses go those marathonish distances, I think moving back is
okay.
An angle I don't like to jump on that much. But you're getting Irod on board, so I think it'll be a player. And then Dakota Country in the third spot off a nice maiden breaker. Similar idea to the top pick. Dropped to the 50 level for the maiden breaker. Now drops a little 4 N2L. I think is going to be a square fit. And just before we wrap it up, we didn't get our whole Steve Bick play of the day today, but I think we do have the slate, and it is in this 10th and final race. It's his own Landauer, number 11. That is going to be the Steve Bick play of the day today if you're on the team.
20-1 on the morning
horse
line.
You're rooting for. And we will have the commentary a little bit later in the day, maybe after racing across America, but also keep your eyes open before the 10th race today. The guys may play it there, but we just didn't have it ready here. So there's your slate and there's your horse.
Race
So if
10,
you're on the
number
team,
11.
that's who you're rooting for. Number 11,
Big
owned by
road.
DT Stables. That's the nom de plume of Steve Bick and company. So he's going with his own horse there. And why not at 20-1?
I think years ago, talking about the claiming game and Klarovich getting picked, I think this is the equation. When Bill Mott would drop a horse into a tag, I think it was maybe Juan Saray you could count on claiming the horse. And I was just thinking that might not be a bad business model with the Chad horses.
Yeah.
You could probably at some point figure out a level. And I know it comes down to accounting and things like that, but I think it was Juan Saray used to pick off a lot of Bill Mott drop-ins. So maybe somebody will start doing that with the Klarovich runners. It's a beautiful, perfect day to come up for racing, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is perfect. There's now a cool breeze in there. So if you have a couple hours, come on up. He stays, I go. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.